In the sun-scorched hills of northern Greece, where time itself seems to have slowed, a discovery was made that would confound archaeologists, awaken forgotten legends, and ignite a storm of speculation around the globe. Beneath layers of ancient earth and weathered stone, resting silently, untouched for perhaps thousands of years, lay 7 iron boxes, mysterious, impossibly preserved, and sealed tight as though guarding a secret not meant for human eyes. But what truly sent ripples through the archaeological world was not just their unexpected presence, it was their impossibility. How could iron, so vulnerable to corrosion over centuries, remain untouched by rust? Who crafted these perfectly measured, geometrically precise artifacts in an era supposedly devoid of advanced metallurgy? And most chilling of all, what was found inside them? Could these enigmatic containers be the remnants of a forgotten civilization? Or perhaps something far older and far stranger? What if the secrets locked within these boxes were never intended for us to find? Tonight, we journey into the heart of a mystery that stretches beyond the cradle of Western civilization. Through myth, science, and the eerie silence of the past, we will attempt to unravel the riddle of the 7 iron boxes of Greece. Were they simply ancient tools, lost treasures, or the remnants of an encounter with an intelligence not of this earth? Let the descent begin. It began, as many great discoveries do, with something small. In the spring of 2003, a team of local construction workers in the Thessalian region of Greece broke ground for a routine expansion of a rural road near the village of Kalambaka, an area long associated with ancient monasteries, cave dwellings, and whispers of forgotten temples buried beneath stone and soil. But what they struck was no ordinary rock. As the sun dipped below the rugged Pindus Mountains, one worker's shovel hit something metallic. At first, it was assumed to be a pipe, perhaps old Roman aqueduct remains, not uncommon in these parts. But what emerged from the dirt was something else entirely. A perfectly rectangular iron box, no larger than a suitcase, with sharp corners, smooth sides, and strange geometric etchings that shimmered faintly even under dust. Then came another box, and another. Over the course of 2 days, 7 identical iron boxes were pulled from the soil, each sealed, each seemingly untouched by time. They were buried in a deliberate pattern, a perfect hexagon with the 7th box resting in the center. There were no bones, no tools, no pottery shards, just the earth, and these unexplainable artifacts. Panic set in among the workers, some of whom feared they had stumbled upon a military cache. Others muttered darker things, curses, relics of titans, forbidden objects that should not have been disturbed. The local foreman, unsure of what to do, halted the work and contacted authorities. Enter Dr. Eleni Maropoulos, a respected Greek archaeologist and historian specializing in Hellenic metallurgy. When she first laid eyes on the boxes, she was baffled. The iron was pristine, no oxidation, no corrosion, not even the faintest signs of age. Metallurgical testing would later confirm the impossible. These boxes were composed of a high-grade iron alloy not known to have existed in the ancient world. Some believed it resembled stainless steel, yet Greece, in the supposed Iron Age, possessed no such technology. And yet, there they were. One box was carefully opened under lab conditions. Inside lay something stranger still, a fine black powder, magnetically active, laced with microscopic flecks of what appeared to be pure silicon, arranged in symmetrical lines, almost circuit-like in nature. That day, the mystery deepened. But this was just the beginning. What if the iron boxes were not the first to be discovered, only the first not destroyed? As news of the Kalambaka find spread, scholars and mystics alike began digging, not into the soil, but into the archives of forgotten knowledge. And there, hidden in brittle scrolls and overlooked footnotes, surfaced whispers of similar relics throughout history. In the writings of the 2nd century historian Pausanias, there is a curious mention of 7 thunder vessels buried beneath the feet of the gods, sealed with the sky's breath and forbidden to be opened by mortal hands. The passage, long dismissed as poetic metaphor, now sounded eerily literal. An even older source, the lost Orphic hymns, those mystical texts said to be passed down from the days before Olympus, tells of black caskets of iron that fell from the stars, bearing the wisdom of the Watchers. The Watchers, known also in other traditions as the Grigori, angels, or something else. These tales, once relegated to the realm of myth, began to take on a new weight. Across the world's ancient cultures, 7-sided or 7-part relics appear again and again, often linked to divine or cosmic knowledge. In Mesopotamia, there were the Tablets of Destiny. In India, the 7 Saptarishi stars aligned with sacred wisdom. Could these disparate myths be memories of something real, something that fell to earth long ago? One passage from the apocryphal Book of Enoch described metal vessels of perfect shape and unknown design, which glowed within and whispered secrets of the firmament. The church had long banned this book, calling it dangerous. But perhaps it was simply too truthful. And then there was the Delphic connection. A retired theologian named Stavros Anagnostou brought forward a parchment from a long-ignored monastic library near Mount Athos. It described a relic kept hidden beneath Delphi, the ancient seat of prophecy, known as the Heart of Hephaestus, said to be forged by hands not of this earth, and buried with 6 other items in the shape of a celestial sigil. 7 again. Was it merely coincidence that Delphi lies less than 200 kilometers from Kalambaka? Or were these boxes part of a pattern that ancient priests, or perhaps something older, sought to hide in plain sight, encoded in myths, disguised as gods, entombed beneath the cradle of Western civilization? The more that was uncovered, the more impossible the story became. And yet, the trail was far from cold. In a climate-controlled lab beneath the Hellenic Ministry of Antiquities in Athens, the 7 iron boxes sat like silent sentinels, cold, heavy, and unreadable. The best minds were summoned: materials scientists, archaeometallurgists, physicists fluent in the language of the atomic and the ancient. Their mission? To decipher what these artifacts were, and more importantly, what they weren't. The first surprise came immediately. The iron wasn't just old, it was impossibly old. Radiometric dating placed the corrosion patterns and environmental exposure at over 12,000 years, far predating the rise of Greek civilization. This was the Younger Dryas, an era when mammoths still roamed and the last ice sheets were receding. Who had the capability to forge seamless iron in that time? Not even the great metallurgists of Hittite fame, who appeared millennia later, could match this craftsmanship. Even stranger was the composition. The boxes weren't made of any known earth-based alloy. Trace elements of iridium, osmium, and technetium, rare even in meteorites, showed up in strange ratios. The density readings were inconsistent, as if the material behaved differently under magnetic fields. One physicist described it as quantum metal. Another whispered, off record, that it behaved like non-local matter, connected in some way beyond the observable. Then came the attempt to open the first box. Nothing worked. Diamond drills dulled. Laser cutters failed. Magnetic pulses caused the boxes to vibrate faintly, as if warning the handlers. One operator reported hearing a hum, low and rhythmic, that sounded like breathing. Then, on the seventh night, something changed. Without warning, one of the boxes opened, not by force, not by technology, but by proximity. A lab technician had approached holding a pendant inherited from her grandfather, a piece said to be passed down through generations since the Ottoman era. As she neared the box, the seam glowed faintly, a thin blue line tracing the outline, and with a sudden click, the lid rose a few millimeters, revealing nothing inside, or so it first appeared. Infrared scans told another story. Inside the box was a hollow cavity, but one lined with micro-etched patterns invisible to the naked eye. The patterns responded to certain frequencies, especially those matching the Schumann resonance of Earth. When a tuning frequency was applied, symbols began to form. Symbols not of any known human script, not cuneiform, not linear A, not Phoenician, not even the glyphs of the Olmec or Indus. They looked mathematical, circular, fractal, alive. Some likened them to crop circle geometries, others to the codices of extraterrestrial encounters in UFO lore. But no one could read them. What's more, only one of the 7 boxes opened. The others remained sealed, unyielding, as if waiting. For what? Or for whom? The mysterious iron boxes had opened a door, not just to history, but to speculation that challenged the very foundations of human knowledge. Could these artifacts be proof of visitors from beyond the stars? In the shadowy halls of alternative archaeology, legends of ancient astronauts have long stirred imaginations. From Erich von Däniken's Chariots of the Gods to the star maps carved in the Nazca lines, the idea that extraterrestrials influenced early civilizations is controversial, yet persistent. The discovery of the iron boxes seemed to echo these whispers. Historians and archaeologists dug deeper into local lore around the sites where the boxes were found, near ancient Thracian settlements close to the Aegean Sea. Tales of sky people, immortal beings who descended from glowing chariots, were recorded in Byzantine manuscripts and scattered oral traditions. Descriptions of their tools, often said to be made of heavenly metal, matched oddly with the box's features. But the question remained, if these beings visited Earth, what was the purpose of these boxes? Some theorists proposed the boxes were power cells, remnants of a lost technology to harness energy. Others suggested they were communication devices, encoding messages or maps meant for their creators. Could they have been a vault, a safeguard to protect knowledge from a cataclysm? The timing coincided eerily with the Younger Dryas, a period marked by global climate upheaval and mass extinctions. Perhaps these iron relics were keys, sentinels left behind by advanced beings warning humanity or awaiting rediscovery. Further clues came from recent satellite imagery. A cluster of similar boxes, buried but unexcavated, appeared beneath the Mediterranean seabed, near an area once home to the sunken city of Helike, a city swallowed by the sea over 2,000 years ago. Could a hidden network of such devices exist, stretching beneath ancient lands and waters? Each question spun a deeper mystery. Was human history just a fraction of a greater cosmic narrative? Were we truly alone, or merely the latest chapter in a story written across the stars? As the world watched in awe and skepticism, scientists embarked on a new phase of exploration, using the latest technology to unravel the enigma of the iron boxes. Advanced spectroscopy revealed traces of an unknown alloy, unlike any metal commonly found in the ancient world. Could this be the handiwork of extraterrestrial metallurgy, or a forgotten human craft now lost to time? Inside the boxes, minute particles hinted at an energy source, tiny crystalline structures that shimmered with an otherworldly glow under electron microscopes. Researchers hypothesized these could be remnants of a power system, perhaps based on principles yet to be fully understood by modern science. DNA samples found near some of the discovery sites yielded strange anomalies, genetic sequences unlike those in any known human or animal genome. Could these sequences be remnants of alien life forms? Or perhaps genetic experiments from an ancient civilization intertwined with unknown visitors? The discovery shook the foundations of archaeology and genetics alike. Still, the scientific community remained divided, cautious of leaping toward extraterrestrial explanations without undeniable proof. Yet, the iron boxes held their secrets close. They challenged us to reconsider the origins of human civilization, the boundaries of technology, and our place in the cosmos. The line between myth and science blurred, inviting us to peer beyond the veil of history into a realm where truth and mystery entwine.